We habitually create discomfort and pain for ourselves, and we don't even realize that we're doing it. So, for most of us, pain is a part of everyday life. Now, pain, discomfort, there's lots of different names for it, but I like pain. People don't like to hear pain. I'm in pain. I'm not in pain. But pain is very accurate. And pain is a spectrum. There can be just this very mild discomfort of pain, and then there can be some real serious pain. This emotional pain I'm talking about. This energetic sort of pain. This weird sensation in our chakras, in our chest, that somehow continually is there. We generate that for ourselves. Now why? One, we're animals. Even Willow, who has had nothing but been coddled and loved and doted over and spoiled, and I just want to make the best possible life I can for him. And I have fun trying, you know? Even still, if I move a little too quick, he's like, we're wired like animals. We're wired for fear. Fear is a survival instinct. You know? A lion jumps out, you get afraid, you run, you survive. And so you have this like primitive wirings. Evolution is still happening. We're still evolving, and perhaps we're evolving out of this primitive wiring that no longer serves us into consciousness. But we create this strange feeling inside us. And we do it habitually. There are people who are identified with their pain. It's so funny. Sometimes a student will come, particularly like a new student, and it is suffering and suffering. And I say, okay, let me show you how you're doing this. Let me help remove that. And they resist. They don't know who they are without their pain. They are identified as their pain. How wonderful would it be to walk this earth without that pain? Do you even think it's possible? You are looking at me like, yeah, this guy, pie in the sky. It's possible. No joke. You're going to hear me say 1,000,000 more times to you that we're different people when we're in pain. We perceive differently. We choose differently. But we are so habituated into feeling that way, just like a bad habit. Believe it or not, I even hate admitting this, is that I used to smoke cigarettes. Ugh. What a disgusting habit. Much offense to those of you who smoke. It's horrifyingly awful and stupid, and I did it for almost 10 years, when I was very young. And it was just a habit. It wasn't until I went to see an uncle, my father's brother, who was very sick with emphysema and lung cancer. And he was dying. And he looked at me and he saw a pack of Marlboro Lights in my pocket. And he looked at me and he used to smoke Pall Malls, you know, like drink cups of tar. And he looked at me and he said, you know, he said, if I could give you this much of my pain in a cup and have you drink it, you would never ever touch one of those again. And so I went upside. This was in like near Scranton, Pennsylvania, and so we were in the woods in the mountains, and I just kind of went for a walk, and I lit a cigarette out of habit, and I was like, I have got to be an asshole. What am I doing? What am I doing to myself? And why even? It was just a habit that I got into. Some friends were smoking. My parents smoked. And I just did it. I mean, because I'm mentioning that because it's so obviously bad for you. It's like, why not just sit there and hit myself in the head with a hammer, you know? In the same way, or a similar way, you know, we're generating this pain and discomfort for ourselves over and over and over and over again. And we've got to become present to that. You can't change what you can't see. You know? You have to become aware that you're doing it and be aware that you can stop doing it. But these thoughts are such habitual, you know, our conditioning. Rinpoche used to say all the time, we're such slaves to our conditioning. We're slaves to our conditioning, to our habituated, conditioned mind.